Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's YouTube channel. Normally my YouTube channel is about crocheting for the most part, but today this video is going to be about my feeding tube and cleaning around it and changing the pad. I was asked to make this video, and so here it is. Hey friends, I hope you're all doing well today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I just hope that you are living your life to the fullest and getting all the enjoyment that you can get out of life. So I get asked a lot about my feeding tube and the care that goes into it and what all it entails. I don't think there's enough information out there for people, like for feeding tube awareness. I know before I got a feeding tube, I did search for information and just trying to, learn all that I could. And it wasn't a lot of information out there. And now I've had a feeding tube for like, I believe 3 years now. And so it's still not a lot of information out there. And so I get asked a lot of questions. And people just want to know. Some people are just curious and they want to know, and that's wonderful that people are interested in learning. And some people are like facing themselves or their child getting a feeding tube, and so they are wanting to learn more, and so that's understandable too, because you want to learn all you can before you jump into that kind of situation. So So I have been asked to show my feeding tube. Okay, so every now and then I do kind of pull my shirt up and show my feeding tube, but I've had several people to ask, but what does it look like? Because when I show it, I just show a quick little glimpse of it with my gauze around it and a tubey pad and such, all that around it. And so people just want to know, like, so what does it really look like? I get it, because if you don't know and you don't ever see it, how are you gonna know? So anyway, it's not really gross. It's not. I mean, okay, Big Daddy, it grosses him out. It does. Some people it will gross out. Some people it's just like the hole in the nostril of your nose. Okay? So that's the hole in your nose. I just have an extra one in my belly. Okay. Except mine is red around it, and it's a little bit it's not infected. It's not infected at all. It's just kind of angry. A little inflamed, and that just happens. And some people have a lot of leakage around their feeding tube, and some people don't at all. And I envy those people who don't have any leakage. I have always had leakage from the get-go. So anyway, so I'm going to, on this video, I'm going to show changing the 4x4 split gauze around my feeding tube and cleaning it and putting on some barrier cream and putting a new tubey pad on. I mean, a new gauze, new gauze and new tubey pad and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of like my morning routine. This is something I have to do every morning, and I'm gonna try to make things go as fast as possible and get all my stuff out and set up and go ahead and, like clean where I'm working at, have all my supplies ready, because that's one of the things, when you gotta like, okay, get my hands washed and all that kind of stuff. Although, let me tell you this, there's nothing sterile about the stomach. The food we eat is not sterile. Anything inside your stomach is not sterile. But I do want to have clean hands when I deal with it. And no, I do not put on gloves, because I would have all these floppy fingers that would be in my way. So I can't wear gloves. I just use my hands and use it the best I can. I do have difficulty doing it. Somebody with, 10 fingers could do it a lot better. Some people's feeding tubes are placed different on their abdomen. Mine happens to be right up under my breast. That is a pain. It is like right up under the breast. Some people's are down closer by their belly button or down lower on their stomach on the side there. And yeah, I wish mine wasn't right up in my breast. So I'm going to try my best to be careful raising my shirt so I'm not, flashing you, but you might see some fat there from my boob. And so, but, it just looks like skin, okay? It just looks like skin from any other part of the body. So I'm not showing too much, I do try to be careful with that. So anyway, guys, this is your warning. If you don't want to watch that, I totally get it. I understand. Some people have a queasy stomach and, it's not for the weak. I'm not calling you weak. I really am not. But it is not for the weak. And it is a little bit painful for me cleaning around that, especially when it's raw and angry. It is painful a little bit. And, but I'll be okay, It's just painful for that little bit, and then I get it all done up, and that pain kind of eases up until I move in the wrong direction or some acid leaks out. But all during the day, like if you was to spend the day with me, you would hear me go, or, or, things like that throughout the day. And it's just pain. It's either I move the wrong way, because sometimes, like when you stretch your arm to reach something, well, that pulls, it pulls your body, it pulls your skin. And if I bend over, that can be painful because it kind of makes that bumper fold into your skin. And if we're in the car and we're going down a really bumpy road, and that's just, I'll be like, I try not to do it that loud, but it might be at points where I'm just like, oh my God, I can't stand it. So that's just part of it. That's just part of having the feeding tube and part of life. It's part of my life, and it's part of a lot of other people's life too. We don't have a choice, it's just part of it. So let's go and change my dressing around my feeding tube. Okay guys, so this is your chance to back out, because I am going to change the padding around my tube feeding. Okay, so let me try to get my shirt up and try not to show you too much. Okay, so my stomach is super itchy right now. I pulled the tape off already because it was barely hanging on. But so what happens is I need to unclamp this clamp here and then pull it out some. It's a little difficult for me to do with my hand issue, but I just try my best. So, and I've already washed my hands, and see, this is nasty. This is nasty, and this is just from overnight. So that's kind of what it looks like, and I have to just clean it the best I can with what hands I have, With my hands, it's kind of difficult. Oh, and it is painful. It is. Okay, so I'm going to spray some Derma wound care cleaner on there. And it is difficult for me, you know, like with my issues, just trying to do all this. Okay, it's finally sprayed some. I didn't want to spray it first. So I do have to change this about 4 times a day. So I'm going to put a barrier on it to kind of soothe the skin. And this is Boudreaux's butt paste. It's what works the best for me. It's healing, so it's not just a barrier. It's also, it has healing in this, so that helps a lot. When I use something that's just a barrier, it doesn't do any kind of healing in it, and it just kind of protects the skin from the acid. This protects from the acid, plus kind of helps it heal. So not only is this like a morning routine, it's about 4 times a day. I have to do this throughout the day as my tube leaks. You know what? Doing this in the camera really does help. It helps see, because otherwise I really can't see what I'm doing. I just have to do it the best that I can. I'm going to go ahead and put some silver calcium alginate dressing under there to try to heal up some of that. It is hurting. It is hurting. That's why I'm breathing like that, because so I'm just trying to cut a piece of this off. I'll put this part back in the package. Whew. Oh God. Okay, so I'm gonna try to stick this up under this part that's the worst down here. It's kind of cutting like a little V, so it'll kind of slip up in there the best that I can get it to. And then I have the tubey pads. This happens to be the one that Tammy had made me, I'm pretty sure, because I have a bag of those right down here, and I pull from it. So I'm putting this, it's got to go up under this bumper. This helps with absorping liquid, and it also helps with that bumper digging into my skin where it's already raw. And then you have to tighten the bumper up, pull this back down, tighten it, and then I take a piece of this tape, and this is the good tape that doesn't eat my skin, and I only need about 2 squares of it when I can pull it off right. So I tape my tube down on my stomach so it's not just dangling, and there we go. That's it. And so before the video, I had already washed my hands and done all the little things that I needed to do. I do have a antifungal powder that I'll probably put on it when I change it here in a little while. Throughout the day, I change it, you know, like I said, about 4 times. And also, I'll put different things on it. Like I put this healing barrier on it right now, so that gives it a little chance to heal. This that I had used on it was some Dermacare wound cleaner. And so, yeah, as I was saying, so next time I change it, I'll probably put some of this powder on it and let that be on there for a little while. And then when I change it again, I'll probably put like some barrier cream on it. I do put the barrier cream on it at night, the healing barrier cream, so that it gives it a little chance to heal. So now I just have to wash my hands, and I'll be done. Okay, guys, I hope that wasn't too much for you. It did show a little more skin than I was anticipating, but we're grown-ups, we're adults. I think y'all all know what skin looks like. So anyway, that is my morning routine, but it's also my night routine and a couple more times during the day routine. So after a few hours, I will go and change that again, and then, you know, sometime in the afternoon I'll have to change it again, and then at night before I go to bed I change it. But we also do my meds and stuff like that at night too, so the night routine is a little bit longer because we do my meds plus change that and try to clean it super good around it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. I know probably not everyone watched it. And that's okay, that's okay. You know, I was asked to do this video, and so I was just kind of like, yeah, people want to know. And if you're faced with, you know, getting a feeding tube, you kind of need to know what it's going to look like. You kind of need to know that there can be issues. It can be painful. But not everybody has that leakage that I have. So it just varies from person to person. And so I have a dangler. Some people get little buttons, like a Mickey button's what it's called. MIC-KEY, I believe. It's a Mickey button that's kind of flush to the skin. I'm too fat to get one, I think. I think that's what the doctor tried to say in a very nice way. But anyway, I have this dangler. And I do try to keep it taped to my stomach, because if it's loose hanging down, it'll snag on my clothes or, you know, whatever. But that tape does come loose and it comes out, especially at night. It'll come untaped. And sometimes during the day it comes untaped. It depends on what I'm doing and, you know, my activities for the day and stuff. So anyway, I appreciate you all being here, and I just appreciate you. You know, I appreciate your support, and I appreciate your just loving thoughts and your loving comments that you guys leave me. Y'all are the best. And I hope this video was helpful to someone out there who, you know, needed to know. I hope it just brings awareness for what people with feeding tubes, you know, might go through and deal with. on a daily basis. So anyway, that's important to bring awareness to things, I do believe, because if we're hush-hush and we never talk about it, how does anyone learn? How do people know what it is to deal with it, and what, that maybe in their future if they're facing that. Now, some people with feeding tubes, like you might hear a lot more about babies with feeding tubes, are people who are very sick in the bed with feeding tubes. I don't know how else to word that, but very sick patients. They're in the bed and not up and about and doing daily life things as I am. I mean, I do have limitations, but I try my best to carry on with life and live my life to the fullest. Some people don't have that option, and I do know that. So when you hear about feeding tubes, you mostly hear about babies or bedbound people. And so it's hard to wrap your mind around someone who appears normal. I don't know. Okay, I don't know that I appear normal, but I am an adult going about my daily life. I don't appear normal. I do have other issues that, if you don't know and this is your first time seeing one of my videos, I've lost fingers due to Raynaud's, which is totally different video. You can search my channel and you might find videos on that. I think I am going to do some more health related awareness videos, because there's just so much that people don't know about different medical needs and chronic illnesses and such. And so, I just think there needs to be more awareness out there. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you all. I'm normally primarily a crochet channel, and so I will show you what I've been crocheting on. I'm almost finished with the border around this square. I was doing the border around here, and then I stopped last night, and I just never have got back to it. So I just got to finish up this side here, connect it, cut my yarn, and then I've got 3 more of these granny squares to put this turquoise border on, and then I have to make that hard decision about what I'm making. Usually people know what they're making before they're making it, and I'm just doing this backwards. But anyway, so yes, I'm primarily a crochet channel. I do some adult coloring with colored pencils, some art journal, sometimes different types of art, but primarily crochet. And also I have a lot of chronic illnesses, chronic pain, and so that's part of my life. And so this channel is really about me and my daily life and things that I go through or overcome. Do not consider myself like a victim, or trying to think how I hear people say like they suffer. I mean, I do suffer from some chronic illnesses, but also I'm surviving some chronic illnesses, okay? I like to look at it more as I'm surviving, because that's all we can hope for. That's what we strive for, is to survive, carry on with our life, live the best life that we can live in whatever condition that we have. If you are bedbound or chair-bound and you can't get out and do things, live your best life in that bed. Live your best life in that chair. I have a feeding tube. I have, Raynaud's. I'm living the best life I can under these conditions. So, yes. And it's a beautiful day to enjoy your life. Bye, friends. I'll see you all in the next video. Let me know down below what you thought of this little video. Was it helpful to anyone? if it was helpful to one person, I'm grateful that I did the video. Thank you, friends, for being here. I appreciate you spending some of your precious time with me. I know there's tons of YouTube videos out there that you could have clicked on. I'm honored that you clicked on my video to spend time with me. I hope you have a blessed day, a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video, friends.